Alien creatures have launched an attack in a space war. These beings are not only intelligent, but can also control the human mind. Without wasting time on lengthy introductions, let's dive straight into the story. A man named Vyah wakes up inside a spacecraft. His head throbs with intense pain, and his mind feels completely blank. He cannot remember anything, not who he is, where he is, or what has happened. Fresh blood stains spread across the floor, and in a dark corner, a few lifeless bodies lie in silence. It's clear that a brutal fight occurred recently. Struggling to his feet, Vyah stumbles toward the control panel and opens the hatch. As it slides open, an alien world greets him. Strange particles float in the air. A dense, fog-like atmosphere stretches to the horizon, as though the planet itself is shrouded in mystery. Everything feels off, the silence, the stillness, the unknown. He looks around in every direction, trying to make sense of it. Suddenly, a shadow appears in the mist. Vyah rushes forward in excitement, hoping for answers or another human presence. But what he sees shocks him. The figure mimics his movements exactly, like a reflection. Confused and disoriented, Vyah's head burns with pain again. When he regains consciousness, he finds himself teetering on the edge of a deep gorge. Panic rises in his chest. He looks up, gasping for air. This planet is completely different from Earth. Struggling to breathe, he drags himself back to the spacecraft. Even after sealing the hatch, his condition doesn't improve. The pounding in his head becomes unbearable. Flashes of scattered memories start piercing through the pain. Scenes of battles, laughter with teammates, and shared moments flash before his eyes. Enduring the agony, he places a calming medical patch on his neck. Gradually, he feels some relief. After a hot shower, he removes his sticky, unfamiliar boots. Now clearer-headed, Vyah begins inspecting the environment around him. Nameplates outside each room suggest he knew the people aboard this ship. Yet his memory refuses to cooperate. That's when a voice prompt startles him. Someone is requesting entry from outside. Hesitant, Vyah eventually opens the door. A man steps in, only to be thrown to the ground by Vyah in self-defense. After a tense exchange, the man introduces himself as Jack. He explains he was on a mission at an outer orbital base when he received an emergency signal, one sent by Vyah. The message said Captain Clark had locked himself in and started attacking the crew like a madman. Jack had come down to investigate. Bits of memory begin returning to Vyah. Jack looks familiar. As their conversation continues, Jack shares vital information. Earth's resources are nearly exhausted. Humanity's only hope is the interstellar colonization program. 7 spacecraft were launched to search for a new home. The first 6 missions failed. The one Vyah is on, this very ship, represents humanity's final hope. With Jack's help, a medical robot heals the wound on Vyah's forehead. However, during a brain scan, the system detects a blood clot from the injury, putting pressure on the nerves, explaining his memory loss. Fortunately, there's hope it will return in time. While searching the ship, Vyah finds 3 corpses. But Captain Clark is nowhere to be found. Jack theorizes that a virus or microscopic bots on this planet may be affecting human brains. Vyah, filled with curiosity, is determined to uncover the truth. Jack, however, warns him. The base's oxygen reserves will last only 5 more hours, and a violent solar storm is approaching. The smartest move is to return to the orbital base using the rescue pod, then send a formal investigation team. Unfortunately, the rescue pod won't be ready to fly for another 2.5 hours. Vyah decides to explore in the meantime. While wandering, he enters Kevin's room. The scent of Kevin's clothes triggers a powerful memory. Vyah sees himself stabbing Kevin with scissors. Terrified, he applies another calming patch to his neck. A blur begins lifting. He starts distinguishing between reality and illusion. Determined to find the truth, Vyah searches the crew's rooms again and discovers a work log with several real-time videos. 4 crew members had gone to explore the planet. Clark reported discovering strange radiation sources. The group followed a signal to a large crater, clearly artificial in structure. These were oxygen processing systems, likely remnants of an alien civilization. They were not the first to visit this world. One of them tossed a rock into the crater to gauge its depth. But this simple act triggered a defense mechanism. The rock bounced back, striking a crew member. Immediately, toxic gas and electrical surges erupted from the crater. At that moment, Clark arrived. Vyah confronts Jack, asking why Clark summoned everyone there. Jack suggests that if Vyah hadn't been so curious, their friends might still be alive. This ignites more flashbacks in Vyah's mind. Was he responsible for their deaths? Jack neither confirms nor denies. He calmly recommends they abandon the investigation and leave on the rescue pod. With only a couple of hours left, Vyah no longer insists on finding answers. Jack tries to soothe him and applies another sedative patch. But the dosage is too strong. Vyah begins to lose balance. He rips off the patch just in time. A sudden memory surfaces. Vyah had fought one of his fellow crewmates who had clearly lost control. In a blind rage, Vyah repeatedly stabbed him with scissors until the man was motionless. Realization dawns. Perhaps not only Clark had lost his mind. Maybe the other dead crew members had also been infected. Before he can share his thoughts, Clark suddenly appears, alive. Terrified, Vyah grabs a spanner and hides in the ventilation ducts. There, a rotting stench leads him to Jack's dead body. It's clear Clark killed him. Furious, Vyah screams and leaps from the duct. But Clark wears a powered assist suit that enhances his strength. Vyah's raw physical power is no match. In desperation, Vyah grabs a water pipe and hooks it to the oxygen mask, trying to resist. His heart pounds in fear of what's coming. He races back into the ship, only to discover the control system is destroyed. The ship cannot take off. Sinking into despair, he applies 2 calming patches. Only then can he steady himself. Later, Vyah scans Jack's body. The results horrify him. Jack had no parasite inside. Yet, his death occurred 51 hours ago. So who was the Jack who had been with Vyah the whole time? Could it have been a hallucination? As he's still processing this revelation, the alarm blares. Vyah grabs a spray gun and cautiously steps out. At the end of the corridor stands a dark figure, Jack. At that moment, the truth crashes down on Vyah. The infected person all along was him. Memory after memory returns. The survey team had discovered an unknown organism. The orbital base sent Jack to investigate, while Vyah and others waited on the ship. According to protocol, they should have immediately abandoned the area and escaped. But Vyah's scientific curiosity overpowered protocol. He stole a sample of the alien organism and secretly began research. Kevin discovered what he was doing, but before he could alert others, the organism burst and entered Kevin's body through his nose. Moments later, Kevin lost control and attacked Vyah. In self-defense, Vyah killed him. But Kevin reanimated, now under the parasite's control, and attacked the rest of the crew indiscriminately. Vyah realized the horrifying truth. He threw a knife that struck Kevin, forcing the parasite to leave and infect another, stronger host. The battle escalated. Just then, Captain Clark arrived. Despite wearing a powered suit, Clark couldn't overpower the infected host. Jack, witnessing the chaos, hid in the ventilation ducts. But even that didn't save him. He was killed soon after. Vyah, seeing an opportunity, swapped Clark's oxygen mask, hoping to suffocate the parasite or weaken it. He then returned to the rescue pod, alone, with all hope shattered. In that final moment, Vyah understands the true cost of curiosity. His scientific ambition had doomed the mission. Now the only question is whether he can escape, or if he too will fall victim to the parasite, completely, permanently.